These days, the billboards, the commercials, the magazines, everything is telling us, buy this and you'll be happy. Wear that and you'll be happy. Go here and you'll be happy. Obtain this, acquire that, and you'll be happy. But does happiness really come from these things? We spend our whole lives like this. As a child, we say, if only I had that toy, then I'll be happy. An adolescent, we say, if only I just pass this exam, then I'll be happy. If I just get into this university, then I'll be happy. Then we say, if only I can find the right boy or girl to marry, then I'll be happy. Then, if I get the right career, if I get the right raise, if we have children, if my children get into the right school, and on and on and on it goes. And we continue to think that if I just get this, if I just have that, then I'll be happy. But does the ladder of success, does the ladder of prosperity, does the ladder of poverty actually take us to happiness? No. These ladders don't go there. The happiness ladder is different. I remember after I had been in India for about a year or two, I was back in America, and I was back at my parents' house, and I decided to conduct an experiment. I'm a scientist at heart, and a scientist by academic history. So I thought, let me conduct an experiment. क्योंकि जो मैंने देखा था इंडिया में, तो मुझे लगा कि इंडिया में they have the answer. Nonetheless, मुझे लगा कि चलो मैं इसको टेस्ट कर लेते हैं. एक scientific study कर दूँ मैं. So I took a poll, and I asked about 10 different people that I know, every one of whom is at the very highest of their level of success. Someone who's a billionaire CEO of a large company, a very well-known Hollywood actress, a singer whose songs are on the top 10, a top doctor, a tenured professor from Stanford University, someone who plays the center on the LA Lakers basketball team. Every different area, I chose someone. And I asked, tell me, are you happy? I didn't let them know I was doing a study. These were all people whom I knew very well personally. So it was very easy, baat mein, मैंने उनसे पूछा, क्या आप खुश हैं? And every one of them gave me one of two different answers. Either they said, I will be happy when, and you can fill in the blank. The children grow up and move out of the house. I get the raise I've always wanted. My song gets in the top 10. I lose the 10 pounds I gained over the holidays. Or I would be happy if. And again, fill in the blank. My husband would only work less. The children would clean up their rooms. I could only squeeze back into the skirt I wore 5 years ago. It was always something. Either I will be happy when, or I would be happy if. But even with these people who had reached the very top, the pinnacle of what everyone else on planet Earth is searching, yearning, dying to reach, even for these people, happiness was just one step away. There was no one I asked who said yes. Right now, with what I have, I am happy. And I realized happiness doesn't lie in these things. It doesn't matter how much you get, how high you climb. Happiness is not there. Happiness only, true joy can only come from within, from that spiritual connection. And the problem is that the more we run around outside looking for it, in the possessions, in the cars, in the degrees, in the houses, the more we run around in the outside world looking for it, the farther and farther we are running from where it really is. Because you can't run in two directions simultaneously. So if we're running looking outside, we're neglecting the inside. And the inside, in that spiritual life, is really where the joy comes. There's a story of 3 men who are stranded on a boat in the middle of the ocean. And they divide the boat into 3 equal parts. ताकि सब लोगों को लगेगा कि मेरा जगह है. So they make invisible lines in the boat. This is your third, this is my third, this is his third. And every man has his own separate 1/3 of the boat. And one day, 2 of the men look over and they see that the 3rd man has allowed a leak to spring in his part of the boat. And water is filling in. And the 2 men scream, they say, plug up the hole. We're going to sink. We're going to drown. And the 3rd man says, oh, don't worry. It's only leaking in my third of the boat. Clearly, if any part of the boat, invisible and imaginary lines, or no invisible and imaginary lines, if there's a leak in the boat, the entire thing will sink. But in our lives, we do the same thing. We've drawn these invisible imaginary lines that say, this is my professional life. This is my family life. This is my social life. And over here, this is my spiritual life. And we take very good care of our professional life, our career life. We take very good care of our social life. But when it comes to our spiritual life, tragically, we are ready to let the leak spring. We let the water come in. And we think, koi baat nahi, baki boat to theek hai. And we don't realize that if it's leaking here, hum doob jayenge. We cannot let that leak spring in the spiritual part. It's that keeps us afloat. It is the spiritual connection that keeps us afloat in the ocean of life. Otherwise, we've attained everything, acquired everything. But depression and anxiety have become the new epidemics. Antidepressants, anti-anxiety medicine, sleeping pills, these have become the penicillin of the 21st century.